Hi everyone, so my name is Nora Amanda, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most unforgettable non-fiction books I've ever read, Into the Wild by John Krakauer. So this book really made me think a lot about life, freedom, and what it actually means to be happy. So, Into the Wild tells the true story of a young man named Christopher McCandles. After graduating from college, he gives away all his savings, cuts off contact with his family, and decides to travel across America to live a simple life, completely free from society. He even changes his name to Alex Supertramp, and his goal is to escape the pressure of modern life and experience the world in its raw, natural form. And during his journey, Chris meets all kinds of people, from kind strangers who help him along the way to fellow travelers who share their stories and wisdom. Each encounter seems to teach him something about human connection, kindness, and what it means to truly live. But his adventure eventually leads him to Alaska, where he decides to live completely alone in the wilderness. He sets up camp in an abandoned base, surrounded by nature, no technology, no stores, no people, just him and the wild. At first, it seems like a dream come true, but surviving in the harsh Alaskan environment turns out to be far more difficult than he expected. And what's really powerful about this story is that it's not just about one man's journey into nature. It's also about his search for meaning. Chris wanted to break away from the expectations of society, from the idea that success only means money, career, or possessions. He believed that real happiness comes from freedom, adventure, and self discovery. And honestly, that's something a lot of us can relate to. Sometimes we all feel trapped by school, work, social media, or other people's expectation. Chris decided to completely walk away from all of that. Of course, his decision was controversial. Some people admire his bravery and independence, while others see him as reckless or naive. And that's what makes this book so interesting. It doesn't tell you what to think, it just shows you his journey, his thoughts, his struggles, and lets you decide how you feel about him. Personally, I found it inspiring but also heartbreaking. It made me admire his courage to follow his dream, but it also reminded me of how dangerous isolation can be. John Krakauer's writing style is another thing I love. He doesn't just tell the story, he investigates it. He mixes Chris' diary entries, letters, and interviews with the people who met him along the way. It feels part biography, part detective story, and part philosophical reflection. Croker also connects Chris' story with other real-life adventurers who try to live off the land, which makes the book feel even deeper. The writing is beautiful, emotional, and at times haunting. When I finished the book, I felt a mix of emotions, inspired, sad, thoughtful, and it made me question how I live my own life. Am I doing what truly makes me happy, or am I just following what others expect? Into the Wild makes you think about those things. It's not just an adventure story, it's a reflection of the human spirit and our endless search for a purpose. So, Would I recommend Into the Wild? Definitely yes. It's powerful, emotional, and beautifully written. But it's not a light read. It's one of those books that stays in your mind long after you finish it. If you've ever dreamed of leaving everything behind and starting over, or if you've ever wondered what freedom really means, this book will speak to you. Alright, that it's for today's review. So thank you for listening.